Okay. G'day guys, welcome to SimWorld episode 38. It's crazy to think we've had 37 episodes already. Every Sunday, I guess. I've tried to be pretty consistent, but I'll wait for people to get in today. I want to talk about projectors. So behind me, I put some pictures on Instagram the other day. This is the TK710 STI behind me. And it honestly looks pretty good. Like, it genuinely looks good. I'd need to mess with the settings a bit more. I think I could actually get this looking a bit better as well. But this is a very, very underrated projector. This is the first time I've seen this since we set up Bay 2 here at Bayside. We've got the V-Track up, and we decided to use the 710 because this is our like entry-level BenQ projector. And man, I gotta say, like it looks good. It's a good projector for the price. Definitely underrated, I think, this projector. So yeah, I thought I'd talk about projectors today. G'day everybody. We got people coming in. We got Top Gun, Gerard, and Dom's in as well. Dom's saying, good timing. The shed's almost done and I'll be starting to build the sim soon and wondering about projectors. Yeah, I think a lot of people do. I think one of the most confusing things about setting up a golf sim and also when you're purchasing a golf sim, I genuinely think the projector's the biggest thing that stumps people. PCs and projectors. G'day, Jonathan and Sully. Yeah, projectors and PCs just seem to stump people. And like, I was the same, and I kind of still am the same. Like, I know our range of projectors, and the big thing with projectors is BenQ is like leaps and bounds above the others in terms of tech and what they do. And then also, g'day Jay, and then also lumens. So lumens is a big thing that gets thrown around, and we've seen a bunch of new projectors come out now that say we're 7,000 lumens, we're 8,000 lumens. And what you've got to understand about lumens is they're not all equal. So there's multiple different ways of measuring lumens, and what you want to pay attention to is ANSI or ANSI lumens. That is what you want. You want at least 3,000 ANSI lumens. And the TK710 is 3,200, but then I've seen some websites that say it peaks out at 4,000 in different modes. And this is the thing, there's all these different modes with projectors as well that change the picture dramatically. So we put the 830 up, the LK830, and it's an amazing projector. It's got its issues with the how high you've got to have it, but the picture modes or the modes on the projector dramatically changed the image, like dramatically changed the image. So there's a few things to look out for. Throw ratio is another one. You want to get a short throw projector, but then even short throw projectors, the ratios aren't all the same. So you look at the 830, it's going to sit a lot closer to your screen, whereas this TK has the same throw ratio as the AK700 ST. So yeah, what I'll say, we can get into projectors. Let's just let's see who's coming in the chat. We've got a few people to this morning. This is good. Dom saying the lumens and how you have the other ambient light is the most confusing part. So Dom, absolutely. So g'day Ed. It's good to see members in the chat. We've got a few members in. Yeah, so this is the thing. You can spend thousands of dollars on a projector. And check the stuff I put on Instagram, because I compared the TK to the LK936 ST just on a single image. And what you've got to understand is contrast ratio is probably the biggest thing, because you compare the brightness of this image, which is 3,200 ANSI lumens, to the LK936, which is 5,200 ANSI lumens, I believe. They don't look dramatically different if, and this is a big if, you actually, the lighting in your room is the biggest thing. So if you can control ambient light, so you don't have big windows letting light in, you know, controlling how much light you have in your room. This is a commercial demo area. So we have quite big lights on the roof to light this space up because we don't want people coming in here and tripping, and we want people to be able to see what they're looking at. And so we can describe like the area that they're going to get. Controlling the light is the biggest thing. And you're better off spending $1,000 or, you know, a few $100s on some blackout blinds for your room than you are investing another $5,000 and getting a commercial grade projector, because it does not matter if you've got a window that opens that's letting sunlight in, it's going to wash out any projector. It doesn't matter whether it's commercial projector or an entry-level 4K projector. Controlling the light is the biggest thing. Sully saying, all my stuff got here Thursday, Joe. Got it up and running yesterday. A few small things to finish off. Thanks so much for your help along the way. That's awesome. That's really cool. I love that. Who else is in the chat? Christopher's saying, it's finding the right one-to-one short throw for the right price. Yeah, I think, to me, look, it depends on how you've got your room set up and what you're doing with it. But yeah, realistically, the BenQ projectors are just next level. I know Sam at Bayside used to sell a bunch of different projectors, and he's just gone, you know what, let's just do BenQ because they're just super reliable and they just work. David's saying, Pro T coming in a month, have 9-foot 6-inch ceilings. Should I go with the 3-foot 6-inch from hitting error? It doesn't matter. Yeah, so David, the lower you mount the Pro T, it's like the V-Track. So ideally, it's meant to be at 3 meters in height and 1 meter in front of your ball. So yeah, you've got a little bit lower ceiling height. So what that means is the lower you mount the Pro T, the hitting area is going to get smaller. And so you need to move the device slightly closer to your golf ball. So yeah, you've just got to have a look on that. They've got guides on where to mount it, but essentially what it means, and it would not matter realistically. The hitting area is so big, it wouldn't matter if you mounted it at, you know, that full meter. If you mount it lower than 3 meters or 10 feet, I think 3 meters is 10 feet, isn't it? If you mount it lower than that, move it slightly closer to the golf ball. It's not much. Yeah, so Dom, the biggest thing is don't go 1080p. That's the biggest thing. Just don't even bother. Go 4K. You'd be much better off with 4K and getting the TK710 than you would going like a 1080p really bright projector. 4K just makes a massive difference. Future-proof yourself. Yeah, just go 4K, Dom. And like we just had a price drop with the AK700 as well, mate. So like realistically, the AK700 is such a good projector. So you'd be best off if you wanted to have like the baby LK936ST, just get the AK700. That is an amazing projector. The 830 is good. The 830 might actually suit you, Dom, because yeah, it might suit you because you're doing a custom build, aren't you? And the thing with the LK830 is you need to mount it 37 centimeters above your impact screen. And so that's where when you have one of our enclosures, you need to move it back and you need to keystone correct. But because you don't have ceiling protection as such, you should get away with the 830. It's an amazing projector. G'day, Rock-to-Toe. Good to see you, mate. Sean, he does all the builds for the Sanctuary, which is like a Nova integrated platform that hopefully is going to becoming, well, I don't want to spoil things, but yeah, the Sanctuary. I've done a video on it. Go watch the video. Updates coming. G'day, Mickey. It's good to see so many people in today. I think because I put the square picture up, a bit of clickbait, people have joined in. What I will say, I'll talk about the square real quick. So Square Omni, I've been talking to Jin and he just said, just hang out, essentially, just wait. Because they're doing a few like updates on the device. They've updated the actual logo on the device is going to be slightly different from what you saw at the PGA show, and then they're still tweaking all of the settings and all of the data. So he just said, hang out, be patient. It's still looking like it's going to be like a April launch date. We don't have any idea though of pricing yet for Australia, unfortunately, because we're always the last to find things out. I should say second last. New Zealand's the last, aren't they? They're worse than us. Yeah, Projector Central is a fantastic place to compare projectors. And Dom's saying screen size is going to be 4 meters wide, 3 meters high. Total ceiling height of 4 meters, so plenty of extra room up high. Yeah, Dom, how are you going to do your ceiling? This is the thing, when you start doing a custom build, you got to think about how you're going to give yourself ceiling protection so golf balls don't escape. So there's a lot that goes into making a custom build that a lot of people don't think about. If you build like a timber frame, that's probably going to be the best thing. And then you can get some sort of paneling or make some sort of paneling so you can actually get a bit of ceiling protection and side protection as well. So with your screen as well, Dom, are you going to get that through us? And if you are, give me a call, because like the actual size of your screen is going to have to be smaller than the internal frame, if that makes sense, because you're going to want to tension the screen into place. And so getting those measurements correct is very important, so you can quickly hose yourself over. You'd rather go slightly shorter with the screen and, you know, have to cover up a bit more space than go too big. If you go too big, you cook yourself. Do you recommend using EMT or actual timber when building an enclosure? So I built mine out of EMT, and I got the connectors from Carl's place because you couldn't get them in Australia when I built my first setup. If I was to do it again, I'd go timber because it's just easier to work with. It's more readily available. When I got my EMT as well, what I didn't take into account when I built my frame was, because I had such a long bit of EMT, and I can't remember the actual diameter of mine. It was pretty thick, like it was a very heavy pole, but because it was such a long single piece at the top, I think mine was about 4 meters, Dom. The EMT, when I hung the screen on it, it had a sag, so it sagged in the middle. And so then, of course, at the bottom left and right hand corner, I had like wrinkles on my screen. So what I had to do was I actually built like a support. So I essentially built two rectangles, and then I joined them and had joiners going across the top. And so it added that structural integrity for the top bar, and it worked, but it was just like, yeah, the thing is, when you start building custom stuff, you just are forever like, you know, hacking and bodging your way. Like it's an adventure and it's a journey. And this is the thing where whenever I get people, and like I'm on calls all the time with Bayside, and people call me and they say, oh, I'm going to do my custom build, and I just go, oh man, it's going to be a nightmare. But some people get it right, and usually it's like, you know, actual builders, or like you know, what are they called, carpenters. They're like, oh yeah, I'm a carpenter, I can do it. And it's like, yeah, cool. You are actually in a position to where you could probably do it. But when you get a lot of people who aren't handy, and they're like, oh, I'll just build a custom one, it'll look better. And you're like, man, it's going to take you so long. You're going to have so many issues. You'll have like, you know, 4 or 5 months trying to build this thing, where if you just get an enclosure, you can have it up in an hour and anyone can use it. So there's a lot that goes into it that people don't think of. And then they'll buy the wrong size screen, and then they'll go, oh, this screen's too big. And it's like, well, yeah, there's so much to actually think about. There you go. Christopher's a carpenter. Good. You're off to a good start, at least. So yeah, I would go, if you're going to go custom, I would use timber personally. But again, like, even doing that, there's so much to think of, because I mean, Christopher will probably attest to this. Like, you can, when I built my I built that stud frame wall, and because I couldn't get the length of wood that I wanted, I ended up ordering it, and so it came delivered, and then it's not straight. Like, timber is not straight, and so these long lengths of timber had like massive curves in it, and I'm like, how am I going to build this straight wall? So it's an adventure. Like, there's so much to think about. EMT is the metal tubing. It's like the metal pipes. Mark's saying, I've just changed my EMT frame to timber, and timber is so much better. It looks amazing, and impact screen's better off. Yeah, for sure. Golden Diamond is saying, hey Joe, we spoke once on the phone a week or so ago. I build golf sims. I'm retired. Blue tees look good. I designed and built my own sim. It's freaking awesome. What, I build golf sims. Trying to think who this is. Trying to remember the phone call. There's so many phone calls. Yeah, if you can, once you've got it and once you've got a blueprint, then you're off to the races. Like, I know Caleb, who does all of our custom builds, all of his stuff, like you would expect, is held like pretty close to his chest, because once you know how to do it, you can just rinse and repeat. But it's getting the correct formula. That's the hard thing. And when you're just going to do your one-off build, that's where things can go horribly wrong. It's an adventure, but you can definitely do it. But yeah, in terms of projectors, there's obviously a lot of options out there. If you break it down simply, you're looking for a short throw projector. You obviously prices. I always say price is the biggest thing. That's going to influence your buying decision the most. So you've got to figure out what your actual price point is that you're willing to go to, and you've got to look at. Definitely got to get a short throw. In my opinion, you've definitely got to go 4K, and then you're looking at how many ANSI lumens it has and the contrast ratio. That's the other thing. And realistically, any of the 4K projectors from BenQ, like this TK710 STI, is absolutely amazing. And it's very easy to fit because it has a zoom and a focus wheel on the bottom of it. So it's really easy to actually fit and get right. But the biggest thing with projectors is controlling the light in your room. You have to control the light in your room. You cannot expect to have big glass doors and have ambient light coming in. And the thing is, any projector will look absolute trash if you have a lot of ambient light coming in, because they're not designed to be used in that environment. So controlling light, getting blackout blinds, or doing something is going to be far more cost effective and get your projector looking amazing than spending another $5,000, $6,000 on a brighter projector, because at the end of the day, it's still going to get washed out. Yeah, I've seen him, Sean. Yeah. So he's saying, what helped me my buying decision? There's a guy on YouTube called Hookup. He does projector reviews and is a sim golfer. I have seen that channel. I think it was Ben that put me onto him. I'm pretty sure. And Golden Diamond saying having coin helps. It definitely helps. Having the money helps. But yeah, you can do a lot of things if you just control your light in terms of projectors. And sim builds can get expensive, yeah, like they're crazy. I'd hazard a guess to say doing a timber frame would be cheaper than doing an EMT frame, potentially. It's going to be a lot easier to work with, I know that. But measure twice, at least. But yeah, it's got to be more cost effective doing a timber frame. Yeah, what else? So projectors, we've talked about that. That's what I kind of wanted to get out. I've got a video coming out as well comparing the 710 to the 936 ST. That's the one thing about BenQ. they don't have catchy names with their projectors. And the BenQ rep did actually explain it to me. I'm trying to think what he said now. LK stands for laser 4K. And then what was AK? He did explain it to me. LK was laser 4K. AK was, I'm going to have to get ChatGPT up. He did explain it to me. And the naming convention kind of made sense when I actually looked at it, or when he told it to me, but I can't remember what it means now. Okay, so for an enclosure, which one do you recommend? The Bayside one, obviously. Obviously, yeah, we don't ship overseas, so you can't get your hands on it. But man, I wish we did ship overseas because the quality of the impact screen and everything is just so good. It's just such a good enclosure. Overseas, though, like in the States, it's a great question. Yeah, it's a great question. How does the TK710 hold up against the AK700? So what I will say is a lot of the fit features with the AK, honestly, it's not even worth it. Like the auto fit that they do, because we are like, you've got to think about your aspect ratio. So if you've got a standard aspect ratio, like a 16:9, then the auto fit feature, sure, that'll work. But if you've got a standard aspect ratio, so 16:9 or 4:3, then the auto fit feature is just not, you're not going to use it. You're going to do a custom aspect resolution. So a lot of the features of the AK700 that you're paying the money for, you're not using. So unless you want a brighter projector, and I'd have to check, I'm sure the contrast ratio would be a bit higher on the AK. So it's going to look a little bit better. If you jump on my Instagram though, I put a comparison up between the TK710 and the LK936ST, and the only real noticeable difference was the contrast ratio. The grass looked like the rough, the like, you know, yellow burnt out rough looked significantly better on the 936ST, and it's got the golf mode, which we don't even use. So yeah, we just do presentation mode because it's brighter. So yeah, look, a lot of the features of the AK700 you're not going to use if you've got a golf sim. Realistically, you're buying a brighter projector, and I need to check the contrast ratio. I'm sure it's got a higher contrast ratio. The contrast ratio of the TK710 is 600,000 to 1. LK936 is 3 million to 1. Just give me a sec. I think it's similar to the expense. Yeah, okay. So the contrast ratio of the AK700 is 3 million to 1. So it's the same as the LK936ST. So yeah, you're going to get a much better contrast ratio and a brighter picture, essentially. So look, if you've got the money, definitely do it. I tell people all the time, when you're comparing projectors side by side, it's like when you walk into JB Hi-Fi or you walk into a TV store and you go in there. What's the one in the States? Best Buy. You walk into Best Buy, you go to the TV section and you see the most expensive TV and you go and look at the cheapest 4K TV and you're like, hey, I can definitely tell a difference when they're side by side. You look at them and you go, that one looks way better. But your budget only allows you to buy the cheap 4K TV. You take it home, you put it on your TV cabinet, and you look at it, and after a week, you're like, man, that looks good. That is a really good picture. And it's the same thing with projectors. ACE, thank you. Yeah, AK stands for ACE 4K, that's right. Yeah, so that to me is like, yes, you're going to notice if I do a video, the difference between the cheapest 4K and the most expensive 4K. However, when you get it home, you get it set up, it's going to look good. You're not going to be upset. If you've got the extra, like in Australia, this TK costs 3,000 Australian dollars. The AK700 ST costs 4,500. So you're going to pay $1,500 more. It's all on budget. It's all on budget. If you've got the extra money, get the AK because it's going to look amazing. We've just had a price drop of the AK. So they were 5,000. They're now 4,500. So yeah, it's totally up to the individual and it's totally up to your budget. But if you've got the money, then yeah, get the AK because it's going to have the better contrast ratio and the brighter picture. But you're not going to be upset if you get the TK. This is an amazing projector. And funnily enough, this is the projector that Sam, the owner of Bayside, has in his house because he looked at them and was just like, you know what, that TK, it's good. Like he likes it. So it's actually his favorite projector, this TK710. Yeah, Carl's Place Sean, Carl's Place have good enclosures. I mean, you've got the code on my website where you're going to save 5%. So yeah, I've heard they're fantastic. I don't know about the screens. I got my screen obviously years ago from Carl's Place and it wasn't as durable as the Bayside screens. But in terms of their enclosures, I mean, Carl's Place they're world class. Like they are the biggest golf company, I think, for simulation golf in the world. And so they're obviously doing something right. That pro enclosure was insane. I saw their pro enclosure at the PGA show. Man, it seriously was cool. Like it was like full, like real thick EMT tubing. It was solid. And I said to Mike, I was like, hey man, like how heavy is this thing? And I tried to, you couldn't lift it. It was insanely heavy and durable. It was cool. So, and do you know what I love as well? I would love to try their curved screen. That to me is like mind-blowing that they can manufacture and sell a curved screen enclosure. It's like, that's wild. I think that's so cool. They also offer the gray screens, so definitely check out the gray screens. If you've got something like this TK, I'd hazard a guess to say the gray screens are going to look a lot better. But if you've got like a AK700, then I think a white screen is going to be just as good. Hey, Hawk. Is it Hawk? Hauck? He said, hey, Joe, I saw Triple Bogey's review on the Spectrum. Are you going to do one as well? Well, I have done a fair few videos on the Element already. In terms of like a full review of the unit, I'll wait until it's actually released because to me, a unit like that, when it's in beta, I'd rather do ongoing videos showing the journey of the unit than do like a review because it's not done yet. So like I can't guarantee the accuracy. Even though I know it's going to be accurate. I talked to Brett and Mike, like it's super accurate. That's not, but I'd rather wait until it gets officially released and then do a full review on the official unit. Because to me, like, yeah, it's got to be released to the world before you do that. I think, yeah. And not taking anything away from Ben's video because it was amazing. Like Ben is fantastic and he's very in depth. But to me, like, I'll wait till it comes out officially before I do a review. The other thing is I don't actually have one. So I moved on. It's it's with someone else now and they're doing testing with it. So I don't actually have one. I haven't had it for, I'm going to say a couple of months now, since I moved to Brisbane. Yeah, so is it Joachim or Joachim? He's saying in Sweden the AK is almost double the price of the TK. Honestly, the TK is an amazing projector. You will not be upset with the TK. I mean, you can see it behind me. And like I've got to wait till Sam gets back in and we really play with the settings because I've played with the settings and done like the best, or, you know, I played with these settings for about 5 minutes and I got it looking like it does. This is in a bright room as well. So like it is getting slightly washed out from these downlights. Without the downlights, if you just had a pin spotlight, it's going to look significantly brighter. But it's got all these different modes, and the modes genuinely change the picture so much. Like I'll go through the menu now. So picture mode, I've got, oh, it's going to actually change. I don't want to do it. So picture mode, I've got it on FPS, which I just flicked through them all and I was like, yeah, that looks good enough. Whereas I think Sam told me to put on the bright mode. So I should, when he gets in, we'll really play. See, details adjustment. Why don't we go high? Why is that? Oh, look at that. That looks way better. Oh, look at, see, I did a video on this and I didn't, so that was on low. If you turn that off, that looks way better. And then brightness, I've only got it at 70% at the moment. So like, let's turn this brightness all the way up. I mean, look at this. Oh, that actually makes it kind of look a little bit like white again. So there's a bunch of settings that you can do that change. I mean, that looks, honestly, that looks better already. I mean, that's, yeah. You will not be upset with the TK710. What I might do is I might go through all these settings and I might put out a guide on how to set up the TK710 and make it look the best that I possibly can. What kind of ambient lighting do you have in the room, Joe? Dom, we've got we've got these downlights that we've got 2 for each bay. I'm pretty sure I show them off in the video, the projector video that I'll do, but the camera that I'm using, it's very good at adjusting all of the light and making it look good. That's down to the camera. If I was to show you my phone, it looks significantly brighter in this room than you think. I'll try and even take a picture and see what it looks like. Like, it is actually very bright in this room. I don't know if you can see that. Like, it's seriously bright. So yeah, and we've tried to point the downlights away from the projectors, but yeah, if you're going to set up your lights, Dom, get dimmable lights. That's the key. You want dimmable lights so you can control the light, and then also do overhead projection or do a pin spotlight, because then you can, you know, set that little area that you want, that you can see the golf ball nice and bright, and then you can dim the downlights, so then you've got it as dark as possible for your projector. So, man, that looks so much better already. Crazy. Yeah, this is a fantastic, the TK710 is a fantastic projector. Don't sleep on the TK. Golden Diamond saying, technology is about to explode and become a lot cheaper soon. I can't wait much longer though. What tech are you talking about? Launch monitors or projectors or all of the above? I think projectors, I mean, that LK830 is an amazing projector in terms of like brightness and what it can do. It does have limitations, but it's an amazing projector. Let's talk about V-Track. So we've got Bay 2 set up. Obviously, as you can see, I'm in Bay 2 at the moment, and we've got the V-Track on the roof. And I've got to say, I used it for 9 holes the other day. I do think ball speed is slightly down. So I'm going to be doing some videos for you guys, but also for V-Track, and they've asked me to provide them with feedback. So I'm going to go very in depth, and I'm going to provide them, like, you know, all the feedback in terms of, you know, like I'll basically make an Excel spreadsheet and show them exactly what I'm seeing against the GC3, which I use as the reference. So in terms of ball speeds though, I do think this unit is slightly down. And in terms of spin rates as well, I think the spin rates could potentially be slightly down as well. Not much, but like a few hundred RPM, which in the grand scheme of things, as long as it's within that 200 RPM tolerance, when you start seeing things 400-500 RPMs difference, that's when it's like, hey, this is actually making a big difference now. So yeah, we'll see. It'd be interesting to compare them. The other thing I'm going to do on the Facebook group is come out with some more, what do you want to see? So if you're not already, join the Facebook group, because I'll be putting out For the Pro T, top 10 things we want to see as a community. I'll be putting out for the V-Track, top 10 things we want to see as a community. Because what I found out is the companies actually really find those useful, because it's asking the community what they want, and then I can do a video over it, put it out there, and like we saw with Pro T before, like we actually got those things we asked for, which is crazy. They actually listen to us. So I'll be doing that maybe today. I'll be putting out some stuff. Oh, that was heavy. Man, I'm back in the gym and my body is very, very sore. Yeah, but apart from that, really, there's not much happening in the sim world at the moment. My sim build, I'll talk about that. So as you guys know, I'm building my sim at home, and it's kind of coming along. It's at the moment, the roof has been ripped down. I've told you guys that. I'm waiting on the engineer's report for that to be done. But next week, I actually have someone coming to scope out the actual build. And so the build, I'm going to document all this stuff because I will do a full video showing off the build journey. At the moment, my garage just has the roof ripped down, like you guys have seen. So someone is coming next week to scope out and to plan building the actual layout. I've got an idea in my head of what I want it to be, but I'm going to pick their brain because they're obviously an expert. And so yeah, it should be exciting. I've got some cool stuff that I have for the sim build, and it's going to be cool. But yeah, so we'll see. Blue Tees launches in June. Sounds good. Blue Tees. I'm going to Google this. So is this the company, Blue Tees? I'm trying to think. Blue Tees. Is that the Blue Tees launch monitor you're talking about? The portable one? Yeah, they've got a portable launch monitor. That's one company I didn't check out at the PGA show was Blue Tees. They've got a couple of launch monitors, I think, coming out, or they've got one anyway. They've got this portable launch monitor, which I need to look into because I really haven't looked into it. I think it's a radar-based unit. Oh, Tomat! Good to see you, mate. I actually need to get my league round in, I think. I haven't played this week. Oh, big shout out to CC Wilco, to Chris. He had an albatross in the league this week, which is wild. So I have never had an albatross in real life or in the sim. I've had in real life, I've been this close to an albatross. It stopped this short of the hole. And then also on a par 4, I lipped out for a hole-in-one, but it didn't go in. Second Flight Golfers in. Good to see you, mate. JA Streams is saying, just want to thank you for your videos. You're opening up a commercial unit in the UK and they've been a massive help. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. What's the commercial place called? I'd love to check it out. And what hardware are you going with? What launch monitors are you using for that commercial space? That's pretty cool. That was my dream. My dream initially with all of this, and why I kind of started my YouTube channel, a part of it, the biggest part was I got sick of seeing reviews on launch monitors that were fake. But another part of it was I did have like this plan or this love. I wanted to have a commercial center. That was like my dream. But yeah, it's never eventuated, obviously. Not yet, anyway. Flex T. That's pretty cool. Whereabouts are you based? Flex T. Flex T UK commercial golf. can't find it. Are you on Cambridge? Okay, yeah, nice. Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool. And Pro-T's a really good unit to go with. A really good unit. The one thing you might find is, JA, reach out to me, because the one thing you might find hard is the integration with your sim center. And so, like, I know, so Sam, who owns Bayside, he owns Birdies by Bayside as well. So check out, just Google Birdies by Bayside, and then you might have to look at Sim Center. What he's done is he's got a full controllable system now, all through one hub that he created and he built. And so everything from door entry to turning on the projectors, turning on the screens, everything is controlled, even his league. So he's got a league that runs, he's got an application. So you've got like the Birdies application. So everything is controlled by his software that he's built. So JA, reach out to me, shoot me a DM, because controlling everything is the hardest thing with the commercial space and the Pro TVX. They haven't really refined it to the point yet where it has like a really good commercial login, like TrackMan, for example. So if you want, I'll just put it out there. If you want, reach out to me. I'll connect you with Sam, because I think he's gonna be selling it as a product, because it is genuinely next level. Everything is controlled by the controller. Every part of this, even the POS, so where you pay, it's all linked into his app, and you can go through. I was there the other night actually, because he was late, so I was there serving people, and people were buying drinks. And he's even linked in to the tables that are behind each bay, a QR code. You scan it, you can buy your drinks, and it's not going to use a third party, like, you know, all those third party ones. It's all his own. And then it speaks to the system. It comes up on the screen. Bay 4's ordered these drinks. They've paid for it by card. It's next level. So the best way to reach out to me is probably on Instagram. That's, yeah, if you just go Joe Lagowski Golf Instagram, and then I'll connect you with Sam. If not, shoot me an email at joe@baysidegolf.com.au. Hitting turf. Ed, I should have brought this up. I'm back making strips. So I'm back making my strips. And like in terms of hitting turf, I'll talk about hitting turf now. So I'm doing like this Frankenstein. I'm excited. So this hitting strip is 0.5 meter by 1.5 meters. That is the dimensions of the Easy Tee strip that we sell. So at Bayside, I'll talk about Bayside first. So Bayside, we sell Easy Tee, which is a little bit different. It's Easy Tee camo, and that's why it's like black. And the camo actually helps the optical launch monitors find the golf ball. And so in terms of the turf, 98% of the turf that you can get worldwide is all made in China. And it's not bad, but it's just, you know, it's going to be Chinese nylon or Chinese materials, which they're going to wear out quickly, and also they're not going to be as dense, and they're going to leave like little footprints. So when you have a stance mat, for example, and you stand here and hit drivers for a month, you're going to wear out like little divots where your feet go. So you're going to have an uneven mat. And so essentially what Bayside did, what Sam did, is he went for a US made mat. So Easy Tee camo is US made. Insanely durable, insanely dense, 30 mil pile height, really good stuff, really good quality stuff. You can put a tee in it, etc. So that's what Bayside uses, is the Easy Tee camo. Really, really good stuff. Now, I kind of went a different route because, as you know, I've got like elbow pain as soon as because I'm quite steep on the ball, so I get elbow pain. So I created my impact strip, which I was selling. And then when we've moved to Brisbane with the move, it's just too chaotic to try and build these things. I'm looking at getting them made somewhere, but that's like long game. That's end game. At the moment, I'm still making them. I've just started making them again. Someone bought one, so I'm trying to make it for him. And also, I am making for my, and I was going to share this when I announced like the sim room, but I'm just going to say it. Who cares? I have made, or I'm making at the moment, a Joe Lagowski golf hitting strip that is 1/2 meter wide and 1.5 meters in length. And I've actually got it downstairs. I've got the base and the turf glued to it already. So during the week, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to put the foam on it. So it's going to be insane. It's going to be the biggest hitting strip I've ever made. So it's going to be wild. I'm keen to see how it goes. It might end in tears, but hey, it's good fun. And I'm sure like I'll go through a few iterations with the build and we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, oh, thanks, Hawk. Yeah, so he's saying that the hitting strips are amazing. I love mine. Those hitting strips, I've honestly sold those all around the world. I've sent them to Iceland. I've sent them to Spain. I've sent them to the US. It's wild the far reaches of the globe that my hitting strip has got to. I wish I could make them quicker, but making them by hand is time consuming, and I like to get them perfect. And if they're not perfect and like nicely aligned, I just don't like sending them out the door. So they just take a lot of time. So yeah, at the moment, I've got a few guys that want them, and like just genuinely, I just haven't had the time to make them. So hopefully, as we settle into Brisbane and as I settle into this gig and the family gets settled, I'll have more time to make them. And then eventually, like I said, I would like to get them made elsewhere, and then that'll take a lot of burden off me making them by hand. Golden Diamond saying, my mat is 12 years old and spotless, good still. I would hazard a guess to say you don't hit down on the ball at all. You must sweep the ball, because if your mat still looks good after 12 years, you must absolutely sweep the ball. I do have a few videos of the hitting strips. If you just Google, I did a video actually announcing that I was selling them. But I've tried to not announce it too much because genuinely I cannot keep up with the production. And so, like, for me, like, I've tried to just keep it quiet, and I get enough people messaging me about them that it keeps me busy. If I announce it too much, then people want them and I just can't keep up with production. But what was the video I called? I think it's just Joe Lagowski Golf. Hitting strip. That's the first one I did. Where's, oh, there you go, pain-free. So this is the actual, maybe I should title this a little bit different. It's not titled well. It's called Play Golf Indoors Pain-Free with Australia's Best Hitting Strip, I think it is. Impact Strip. I'm going to retitle that video because that's just not titled correctly for me. Yeah, so the video looks like that. So yeah. Golden Diamond saying I play off 6. Yeah. Honestly, you could play off scratch and you could sweep the ball. Like, look at Tiger. He says when he's hitting at his best. Now, I don't know whether this was just him messing with Scotty Scheffler, but he said when he's hitting at his best, he doesn't take a divot, he sweeps it. So you can be the best golfer in the world and sweep the ball, or you could be the best golfer in the world and hit down on the ball a lot, like Scotty Scheffler does. He's quite steep, isn't he? So yeah, handicap has no reference to how you dynamically hit the golf ball. It's yeah, it's just your dynamics. It's just the way you swing it. Sig Pro Softy after getting golf for his elbow. Yeah, Kilroy, that's a good mat. I've heard Sig Pro Softy is great. I actually have used a Sig Pro Softy because my mate Jonathan, I'm pretty sure he had the Sig Pro Softy and it was pretty good. Dom saying, is my hitting strip shank proof? If you want it tested, let me know. That's awesome. Yeah, the thing is, like in the States, there's a lot of really good options for like hitting mats and you know, you've got what's it called? Holy Grail, I think. Holy Grail, Sig Pro Softy. You've got a bunch of different options for fiber built as well. There's heaps of options in the States. The reason I like my impact strip is because it's a putting turf. So yes, putting turf is going to wear out, but for me, in a sim, I want to have something that is going to be optimized for putting. Like for me, when you're playing sim golf, you need to have a putting solution. And I've seen actually Josh Oddie. So Josh Oddie had his sim built by GSR, who golf sim rooms, like Chris and the team, amazing. Like they build the best simulators. Like it's crazy. And he's got a really cool setup because he actually has a longer pile hitting turf, which looks very forgiving. It almost looks like his ball is teed up with his turf. If you watch some of his close-ups, it looks like a really decent pile, and he has a really nice lie for when he's hitting the golf ball. And then off to the side, he's got a putting strip, which I think is really cool. That is another really good option. The way that GSR have built that into his sim, so everything's one level, that's a fantastic option as well, because then you know it's going to roll true. And I like how it's got the line as well, so you got that reference line. So yeah, there's different options. I actually tried to, I just got Flex Tee Golf. I got your message. I'll get back to you after the live. I tried to build an impact strip system that had, like, I was actually going to use Easy Tee, and I had Easy Tee there, and then I also had a strip of just that really, really short, like, putting turf that's like, you know, a couple of mil in height, that really tight stuff. I was going to do that and have the two different surfaces, one to hit from and putt from. In the end, like with my impact strip, because it's putting turf, it rolls so true over that. So I just love that. I just think, yeah, I've tried a lot of things with turfs and impact strips. Since using this in Brisbane, mind you, I'm not hitting anywhere near as many golf balls as I did when I lived in Adelaide. My practice has dropped off dramatically. But this, touch wood, I'm going to touch wood. The elbows don't feel too bad. It's my right elbow that's the worst. I can feel it a little bit, but it's not bad. But in my setup at my house, I'm doing my impact strip because I've tried a lot of things, and genuinely, I haven't found anything better than my strip in Australia anyway. I haven't been able to try all the stuff from the States. There's only 3 places in Oz I can think of. What's that in regards to, Dom? Kiro saying, what stretches do you do before hitting for your elbow? None. And I know that's bad. Look, when I was like doing my Chasing Glory series and I was like so focused on becoming world #1, I went down the rabbit hole and I did my TPI screening. I was doing my TPI stretches. I was doing weights at least twice a week, and I was doing cardio at least twice a week. And I went down the rabbit hole of, and like I was doing a lot of fitness. I was doing like everything. And touch wood, like that, my body has never felt better than it did then. Since coming to Brizzy, I just haven't had the time. And so my body has just gone, like my neck has gone real bad. I actually got, I've started doing my workouts again. I started like last week. And so, yeah, I'm going to get back into them and hopefully the body will get back to where it was. At the moment, my body just feels so bad. My neck hurts. I can feel my elbow. Like it's just not good. But we'll get back to it. Honestly, Dom, genuinely, and I'm not saying this just because I work for Bayside, Easy Tea is far superior to anything you're going to see from Kaizen or 24/7. Don't even bother, mate. Like, don't even bother. Yeah, Jez is nail on the head. Like, don't bother. Easy Tea Turf is far superior and far better. Just get Easy Tea, mate. Honestly, it is so good. And like I said, since coming to Brizzy, I've been able to hit off this with no issues. And I was talking to Sam, and I think potentially because when you get this Easy Tea, it is such a dense turf that, like, over time it starts to loosen up. And I think maybe I just didn't give it enough time to loosen up, the bristles to loosen up. Yeah, just get Easy Tea, mate. Like, or at least get Easy Tea for your stance mat, because it's not going to leave dimples where your feet go. It's such good turf. Shots fired, don't worry. I'll be a pain when it gets to the build. No, honestly, mate, like, just give us a call or shoot us an email, sales@baysidegolf.com.au. Send me an email, I'll get back to you. Did Easy Tea flare up your elbow using it standalone? It did, Noosa, but like I said, when it flared up, it was when I was like hitting and practicing every single day. Since coming to Brisbane, I only hit balls maybe 3 or 4 times a week. And then those sessions, realistically, like, I'll maybe come up here and hit like 20 golf balls and then go down. Like, it's, so I'm hitting less balls, I guess, and it hasn't flared up in this environment. When I was in Adelaide practicing a lot, it flared up. And do you know what actually killed my elbows? It wasn't the Easy Tea. What destroyed my elbows happened over 6 months, and it was the premium tea turf that I bought. And you can go look at the videos. I think I can't even remember where I got it. I think it might have been Net Return that I got it from. That premium tea turf over 6 months killed my elbow, like just destroyed it, to a point where I was honestly thinking I was going to have to stop playing sim golf until I made my impact strip. And that's when I went down the rabbit hole and I did probably about 30 different putting turfs. I used different foams, I used different materials, and refined it to a point where I've got it now where I'm happy with the product. And that's why I started selling them. And a big reason trying to sell them was to help people, because realistically, you don't make a lot of, how long you spend making them, it doesn't, like, it should be like $500, not $300. Yeah, Justin, it happens over such a long time, and then they're not right now. Like, I know, Justin, if I was to go back and use that premium tea turf, within a day, my elbow would be cooked. So it takes, mine still hasn't fully recovered. It would, yeah, if I stopped playing golf, it would take maybe 6 to 12 months for it to fully heal, because it's such a deep, like, it's so bad. It's like your tendons, isn't it? So no, Easy Tea did not flare up my elbows standalone. It was actually the premium tea turf. And it was a Chinese-made turf with foam on yeah. So hitting turf is the one thing that can stop you from playing sim golf. Like, realistically, you could get any projector, any impact screen, you could have any launch monitor, it doesn't matter. But if you get the wrong turf, you can cook yourself and it can stop you playing golf for a long time. I mean, look at Justin saying 2 years and it's just getting better. So That's why I made my impact strip. I just, yeah. That's exactly right, Dom. Yeah, exactly right. It can take so long. All right, guys. Unless anyone's got any more questions, that is going to be it. And I will get back to Flex T Golf. Member Monday. We'll do Member Monday tomorrow. So if you remember, tune in. It's probably going to be 7:15, I reckon. 7:15 is going to be the time tomorrow morning. I'll put up a post on the Facebook group, and that'll be a member only live. And yeah, I haven't really thought about what we're going to talk about tomorrow, but we'll talk about something. Yes, Monday time for me is Sunday time for the States, which I thought was perfect because Member Monday has a nice ring to it, and I can call it that. But then in actual fact, most of the people are in the States, and so they can just watch it on Sunday afternoon. I put all my money into the launch monitor, realized how important a hitting strip is too. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we've got a question coming in from Jez. Here we go. Get ready. We're going to sign out now. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to, after this, I'm filming Infinite Tees has had a massive update. So I'm going to be doing that. And hopefully the Infinite Tees is performing better. It's had a huge update with its physics. Oh, the body's stiff. Angle of attack just seems wrong. 2.7 down for a 7-iron. I don't know about that. Unless I've really shallowed out maybe with this new technique I'm doing. That's nice. See, those numbers don't look too bad. 121 ball, 90 club. That was a beautiful strike. Oh, who's watching the New Zealand Open today? Final round. Lucas Herbert had 9 under yesterday. If you haven't watched my lesson, I actually did a lesson with Dom Azzopardi, who's Lucas Herbert's coach. Definitely go check that out. But yeah, New Zealand Open final round. Get excited. When do you expect to get the Omni? Ryan, great question. I've messaged Jin. I think I'm going to get one in March at some point. It was meant to be a lot earlier, but they've had delays because they wanted to change things on the device, like the logo for some reason. So hopefully I'll get one in my hands in March, and then April they'll be released to the public. Fingers crossed. But genuinely, like, we don't know. Jez, here we go. Will you be looking at any neural feedback devices? Do you know what, Jez? I actually have used the focus band. When I worked for A&K for Chris, he had one. And so I have used it on the driving range and also just sitting in the A&K room. It was a cool device. It was a really cool device. But for me to get my hands on one, realistically, I don't think so. Unless I haven't really looked into them since I used the focus band with Chris. Possibly, if the prices come down, then it'd be a cool thing to check out. Justin saying, how's the swing changes going? Was a good watch, that lesson. Thanks for that, mate. Yeah, swing changes are still going. I think yeah, it's so hard, realistically. One thing I want to be aware of, Justin, is I don't want to just go too far too quick, and I already have. I need to just do a gradual, slow progression over months and months and months, rather than diving in too quickly and trying to go too hard. But you know what we're like as golfers. You just go, as soon as someone tells you something, you just take it to the extreme. But there's actually a really cool training aid that Sam brought in that he had at his house. I might even show it off on the channel because, yeah, I might do that. It really helps me. I'll probably do a video on it. I'll do a video on it. It helps you set and then feel. The biggest thing for me is feeling on my downswing, feeling that with my hips instead of feeling that. It gets you feeling this and then room for the arms to come down. But swing changes, yeah, it is what it is. You've just got to learn how to get a feel with your swing changes instead of being too positional. And so that's what I always try and turn it into a feel, and then I try and rehearse the feel. So, do you know if there's a way in GS Pro you can place the ball on the green at an exact distance? I want to be able to work on 4-foot putts from different sides of the hole. Ed, yes, you can. And I literally have the Luke Donald putting drill as you're a member. Shoot me an email, because as a member, you should have access to my videos and also the skills tests. The Luke Donald putting drill. Watch that member video. It's an amazing putting test. Turn your horizontal launch assist off and go and do that putting test, because it's fantastic. But if you want, if you just want to do 4-foot putts, mate, you can set a custom skills challenge. And again, if you don't know how to do it, then Google Joe Lagowski Golf Custom Skills Challenge, or search it on YouTube, and it will show you how to set up your own custom skills challenge, and you can do it yourself. But yeah, Ed, I've got quite a few putting drills and things in my member section, and being a member, you should have access to those. So if you don't, then just shoot me an email at joe@joelagowskigolf.com, and I'll send you the Dropbox links, so then you have those. Because yeah, I think there's some really good there's some good drills in there and some good practice things that'll help you with your putting. I firmly believe you can practice and get better at putting using a simulator now. Not so in the past. Now these launch monitors have gotten so good, you can absolutely get better. Blue Tees is interesting. I'm keen to check it out, but anything that's radar based that you use indoors, I don't have much hope for in terms of spin axis. Indoors, radar is never going to be as good as photometric devices for spin axis, for short chips, and for putting. It's just not. And the amount of interference you're going to get as well will be wild. But, you know, I never want to be pessimistic on a device, but I'm pessimistic about technology. And radar tech is amazing for outdoors. If you've got premium golf balls and you use a TrackMan, it's incredible outdoors. The additional metrics you can get by using a radar that sits behind the person, fantastic. But indoors, and to a certain extent outdoors as well, yeah, photometric devices, Foresight is the gold standard to me. But yeah, I'll definitely have a look at that Blue Tees, and I'll see if we get one. But to me, just looking at it, it looks like a radar device that sits behind the golfer, which is absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. But to me, it's more of an outdoor training than it would be indoors, just because of spin axis. And unless you're using RCT golf balls, of course. RCT golf balls indoors, it is amazing at how well it captures the total spin, but spin axis, it's never... RCT golf balls don't help with spin axis. Indoors, photometric devices for the win. All right, guys, that is going to be it for this one. JA, I will message you after this live, and I'll hook you up with Sam and you can talk about... He is actually going on holiday, for 2 weeks, so he might not get back to you potentially. He's pretty proactive, but I'll let him know that, yeah, you're keen to hear more about it. Check out Birdies as well. I'm actually going to go do a video of the Birdies facility as well. I'll do it. And what I might do is I might, oh, perfect. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's good. I might do a video of the whole experience that you get from Birdies. And then I also want to show off the back end system because, like I said, I was amazed at how this thing is crazy. You can control all of the bays remotely from this application that he's built. There's an admin section. You can control everything about them. Yeah, everything speaks to each other. It's got the POS system built in. It's got door entry built in. It's got people's profiles built into it. He's got all this back end stuff working for SGT as well, and the club that he runs in SGT. All of the information with the league or the club, it's all on a TV and it's all live. So when people are playing their rounds in the bays, it's live on the TV at the facility as well, so people can watch. And yeah, this is where you go, how is this not, yeah, a product? Before this, so why he built this was because he had other companies doing, say, certain aspects of the whole facility. There was one company that he used for door entry. Then there was another company that he was using for something else, and another company. And he just thought, you know what? All of these are independent. They all keep crashing. And he's like, I just want one thing to control everything. And he built it. So it's wild. But yeah, I'll shoot you a message back after this. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for thanks. Yeah, it'll take a lot off your plate, I reckon. Thank you so much for joining me on the Sunday Live. I really appreciate it. Member Monday is tomorrow. I'll put out a thing shortly telling you about which time and, you know, what Member Monday is going to involve. But yeah. All right, guys. I'll catch you next Sunday for the Sunday Live. Cheers.